Hello and welcome to Sky Career Talks, why we display why it's great to learn with us and communicate. I'm your host, David James. Today, I'm super excited to be speaking with Josh Rochotte. Josh is a PhD student in information science here at the School of Communication and Information. His research focuses on human-centered data science methods to support mental health and personal wellness, as well as interactions with others across digital third places. Josh is also a product manager at Metadata Solutions, supporting Metadata Detect, a comprehensive data and risk surveillance solution for data managers and operational teams in clinical trials. He has spent his professional career working to design and support data capture and analysis systems for use in clinical research. Josh is a two-time alum holding BAs in psychology and ITI and his Master of Information in Data Science from Rutgers University. He is also an advanced certified Scrum product owner via the Scrum Alliance and is a certified therapeutic game master. We're super excited to be in conversation today with Josh. We present to you my interview with Josh Rochotte. Thank you for taking the time to be here with us and chat with us, Josh. We're really excited to, get to know you, your career journey, and really learn more about you and your position. Before we begin, I must ask, how are you today?
I am good. It's crazy being a part-time grad student and working full-time in industry. So um, it's a little rocky. Midterm season's just kind of airing out. Luckily, it's just papers for me, but pretty good. How about yourself?
It's good, right? Finding that whole work-life balance and, maneuvering it week to week, but also finding out, what fits, what doesn't, what needs to be sacrificed, and that's interesting. It's a learning
Exactly.
curve week to week. But, to kick it off, give us a brief overview of your career journey.
Sure. So my career journey has kind of spanned a couple of different phases. I always ask recruiters when I'm talking with them if the um, kind of pre-degree is what you would call an experience. So I'll kind of talk about my employment experience, let's say. So started out in Starbucks and kind of working in quick little jobs just to have some money while in school. I did get an opportunity to work as a research assistant and as a TA while I was at Rutgers, which really helped kind of spur my interest in teaching and in research. And actually got to do a couple of really cool research projects as well, working with some industry individuals. And that allowed me to kind of network, make some friends, and through things like the Rutgers Career Fair, found my current company, Medidata Solutions. I've been there for 5 years and actually joined straight out of college from an interview that I had at the career fair. So started in January, had that career fair interview, basically went through February, had some on-site interviews, and then was offered the position in spring break of my senior year, which felt really good knowing that I had a job come summer. All I had to do was pass and make it through. And so I kind of have taken that journey to heart and kind of worked with this group both through the professional services department where I started, kind of learned how to build studies and design architecture for these clinical trials that we run. And then midway through, probably about 2.5 years in, decided I wanted to move into product and took a chance to join as a product owner for one of our R&D teams, and then quickly rose up as a product manager now. So I kind of sit in this interesting spot where I get to work with data scientists, work with UX designers, UI engineers, and back-end engineers to really tell a story of the product that we bring to market.
That's really fascinating. And you're in a unique position right now because you're also pursuing a PhD while also working at the same time. So
Absolutely.
what does a normal day look like for you? It probably changes day to day or week to week, I
I would
imagine.
say it changes day to day. I think the benefit of having some good relationships that I've built with with my professors, having been a previous master's student here, they kind of trust me a little bit. They kind of know what my skills and abilities are. So I'm able to go through labs on Monday, basically work my whole day, and then go to our team lab meeting. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are classes, so I've actually worked it out with my employer that I can kind of step away as long as I make up the time while I'm away. And it really is kind of just a kind of a flick of a switch in the brain, kind of turn off academic mode or turn on academic mode, turn off professional mode. They are very different, I would say, speeds. I'm doing a lot more thinking and a lot more design in the professional world, whereas in the academic sense, I'm much more analytical and thinking about the readings and connecting and building new ideas out of the research that we're reading day in and day out. I think the big thing is it's really just a balance and knowing when to kind of tell yourself that you have to kind of switch into this new mode.
I'm interested to learn, because you mentioned, the academic mode, but also, being within your employment mode. So I'm curious, balancing between academia and, the work that you do full time. How do you find the right work-life balance?
I think part of it is understanding and working with family. Just understand that, hey, this weekend I have a paper due, so I'm gonna be busy, and I might not be able to go to the little backyard party that we might have. And then other days it's telling work that I need to leave early or I need to take a PTO day because I need to work on a paper. And sometimes it's missing out on a day of class because I have a board meeting that I have to attend to. So it's ultimately coming down to this level of honesty that I have to have with myself and with the I'll call it the various parties that I support and kind of that support me, having an understanding with them that I have a lot of competing priorities and everyone gets a little bit of the balance sometimes. That way I'm not completely throwing myself into work, completely throwing myself onto family or one way or the other. So I think it's all about kind of balance and honesty with myself and knowing to when to say I need a mental health break. I need to pause. I need to, put down my computer, go for a walk, and then come back to a task.
Absolutely. So I'm curious, in terms of skill sets, what type of skill sets do you think students need to be leveraging now, or perhaps honing in, both technical and interpersonal?
Yeah, I think I've found that the interpersonal skills are hugely important, almost more so than the technical skills. It's always fun, especially talking to friends who have been trained as mechanical engineers and the like. They basically joke that they went to school for their 4 years and then they had to learn their whole job over again on the job because it's really about the mindset, thinking through problems and developing that problem solving brain. I would say it's probably the same for a lot of what we do in industry. You'll find individuals that are looking for very specific languages. You have to have Java experience. You have to know how to write Ruby on Rails and Python and experience with big data management and all these different buzzwords. But at the end of the day, a lot of these teams are looking for individuals who can get behind a mission. Mission-driven companies especially want individuals that they can work with, that they know they can train and that are willing to learn and continue to grow. So I always tell students it's really about the networking opportunities, getting to know people and asking them questions, hearing their stories. That's why these networking events are really great. And really honing in on the ability to tell a story, the ability to craft a narrative and describe data, describe a problem, because your problem set is probably never going to change. If you're trying to solve world hunger, your core problem is always world hunger, but you might be solving that with policy. You might be solving that with code. You might be solving that with speaking up on a stage and advocating for individuals. So there's different vectors for making something happen. In a tech world, being that I'm coming in a world of data science and the sort of big buzz in Python and R, those are kind of the core technical skills. And I think database skills, a lot of what the training program at ITI really gets you working with is going to be helpful. But a lot of times there are going to be new skills that you'll have to teach yourself. So keeping up that the sort of infinite curiosity, as I always say, will really help you drive and get those real good jobs that you want.
So, how does one get into this field?
So data science is very interesting, and I'm actually tangential to data science. I actually sit in product management, which is kind of building out the different problems and advocating for users, developing empathy, and trying to find a solution for their day-to-day problems. Um, Data science, in particular, in that realm, is worried about the different problems that we're trying to solve and applying machine learning techniques and applying AI and statistics to answer questions in new ways and provide data to users in new ways. So I think the balance there is really finding the applicability of data science in these various scenarios. There are some people who are just going to be bench scientists and write code and may never see the code. And there are other data scientists who are going to be in sort of a business analyst capacity. They're going to be working with a business leader and actually answering core questions by applying logic and thinking through and presenting to a board meeting. So there's a lot of different skills and a lot of different flavors of data science, the way that it gets applied in an industry. So I don't think I have one particular core answer there because you can be one of six different things, even in data science alone.
So, moving into, I guess I want to focus on networking in terms of um, finding positions within this field, right?
Yeah.
Would you say having a website, portfolio, a social media presence, or perhaps utilizing LinkedIn is one way of connecting with others to learn more about this field and looking into positions to get into this industry?
Yeah, I find LinkedIn and especially LinkedIn Premium to be super helpful because of the nice little integrations it has, the ability to review resumes and find the different keywords, and of course, just networking with individuals. One thing I found, especially with networking on LinkedIn, is you can search for individuals in the field and tag Rutgers as a filter criteria. So you can actually connect with individuals that are close to you in terms of coming from the same university. And you can actually open up a message with them and say, "Hi, I see that you're a Rutgers alum and you went through the same program that I did. I'm going through it right now and I'm loving this class," and really build up that rapport so that you have a better chance at getting yeses back. And networking, sometimes you're going to get no's or you might get left on red. And that's just the nature of the game. But the opportunities that networking really provides let you see the different flavors, like I mentioned. I had goals of going in and being a data scientist, but when I actually started looking at what data scientists do, there's a whole world of data engineering, database management, and six other kinds of data related careers that you could actually fall into. And a lot of data scientists end up moving into product management because of some of the natural, I guess, similarities between the work that we do. A data scientist is coming up with a problem, designing a solution, executing and pushing that out, hopefully to production users. That's exactly what product managers do, just with a different tool set and not writing the code. So I actually found a little bit of joy in moving into product management because I got to be close to code, but I didn't have to write code. but I understood it. So it let me network with my teams and build that trust and actually help design better solutions. But networking really it all comes back to networking. It's making friends. I always like to say, asking questions, being curious, and connecting. Going out to events like the mingles that we have, the virtual showcases, and using tools like Handshake that have awesome tools, a little bit hidden in there. But once you find them, you can run resumes for free, and actually score yourself and hopefully make your resume a bit stronger, review your LinkedIn, and connect with a lot of other individuals to hear their stories and learn from them.
Absolutely. So, are there any lasting words or advice or a piece of wisdom that you can provide students, or perhaps your younger self that you wish you knew?
Yeah, I think it's two things. The one I mentioned earlier is being and staying infinitely curious, asking questions, and um, always looking for new types of solutions and new approaches. That's not to say that you always need to abide by the book. I mean, there are points where, yes, there are books that you need to follow and rules that have to be abided by, but challenge some of the questions that are out there and look for those new exciting opportunities. You may learn a new language that spawns a new interest, that spawns a new career. And that all started from that little spark of creativity. And I think the second piece is sort of quirky and a little bit more to my personality is being a unicorn. It's a tech phrase, and just being creative, being outgoing, and doing a little bit of everything. I found finding creative ways to say yes while also not taking on more than I can handle has really gotten me a chance to diversify my skill set and let me grow into positions that I would have otherwise taken much longer to do so, or maybe never. And having that will and that drive to try something new and be good at a lot of little things has helped me kind of find my niche and let me move through different opportunities in a much better way.
Well, Josh, I have enjoyed, getting to know, what makes you tick, your motivations, what motivates you, your passion, and it clearly shows, through your career journey. And it's been an honor getting to know a little bit about your background, the pivots, and your ability to adapt as well. I mean, I think it's really important. And thinking about, the different, fields in data science, I was thinking about it as a skill, how communications could also utilize it within their campaigns, but also, the ability to read numbers, journalists, I think it's so important within that field set to also understand numbers, especially coming out of COVID, being able to read that piece of literature and being able to report and communicate it to the public and their stakeholders in a more concise way where it's
Absolutely. And there's so many different opportunities. Like I mentioned, data science is kind of like a framework and a mentality and a tool set. And you can apply that to be a data scientist that works with light bulbs. You could be a data scientist that works with oceanographers, or like you're saying, with communications, with building public policy, with crafting marketing messages and getting PR out in the world, or getting to do stuff like I do and help impact health and technology and bring new ideas, new treatments to market. There's so many opportunities with data science, and all you have to do is just put yourself down in front of the computer and start typing.
absolutely. And, I was just thinking you can also utilizing and leveraging those skills within data science. You could also be negotiating how big or small a project team is to an employer or to your boss.
Absolutely. I mean, there's so many other things that aren't data science that data scientists do day in and day out. So you want to not think that you're going to a communication school and you're going to be stuck in this one area. It's just like a biology degree. There's a wealth of opportunity. You have to kind of find your niche and go on full heartedly at it.
Yeah, absolutely. And being able to understand and being able to communicate that in a very simple, concise way. Well, thank you again,
Exactly.
Josh. I have enjoyed getting to know your insights and your expertise and your passion through this conversation. And thank you for taking the time to speak with us.
My pleasure. Have a good one. And I'll see you at the mingle.
That again was my interview with Josh Rochotte. We look forward to connecting with Josh very soon. Thank you all for joining us for another edition of Sky Career Talks. And be sure to share, like, comment, and subscribe. Also follow our LinkedIn group page, Sky Career Corners, to connect with our brilliant students and alumni. Until next time, I'm David James. Take care.